Shalom. Hope everybody's having a good day. I'm making this video message because I've seen, well, I guess you could say it's more prophecy unfolding in front of our eyes. I keep seeing a bunch of these videos that keep popping up on YouTube, and I haven't checked the other social media channels yet, but all things in time. Apparently there's some kind of a movement that's going around right now. I've kind of heard about it in the past, but now it's starting to pick up more steam. I believe it's called Deconstructing My Faith. In other words, that is just a different way of saying that somebody has turned into an apostate, period. That people have flat out said they have lost their faith because of things they have read in the Bible. So, I'm going to tell you right now, there are three things that takes place as to why stuff like this generally tends to happen. Somebody that goes in, usually somebody who is drinking milk, who is not seasoned enough to understand Scripture, and that causes them to lose their faith. And then you've also got the part of, you got poor leadership, group leaders and poor elders inside these assemblies that should be helping to mentor the young ones to help them understand what they are reading out of Scripture whenever questions are presented. And the third culprit, which I find more often than not, is when somebody never had faith to begin with. It reminds me of the seed sower, the parable of the seed sower. These are the ones that received the word with eagerness, but after a time, they fell away. I may not be reciting that verbatim, but that's what I can remember what it says off the top of my head. So the word sunk into them for a little while, but after some time, they lost interest in it. And what I will say to them is this: I feel very sorry for people that are in this position. And it's not to say that they can't have their faith regenerized or be brought back into the sheepfold, because all it takes is for one shepherd to go and leave the 99 and go retrieve that one lost sheep and bring it back. And that's what the shepherds of these assemblies need to do when this kind of thing starts happening. But they're just letting them go out the door. They're not even trying to stop them. They're not even trying to, get them to come back inside. Let's have a talk. I've noticed that also with a lot of assemblies. They get done with somebody and they just wash their hands of them. They don't want anything more to do with them. They call them an apostate, and then that's it. And if you flat out go and sit here and call somebody an apostate to their face who's having these difficulties, you're going to lose them. They're not going to come back to you. But somebody who actually does lose their faith, walks away from their faith for something as silly as not understanding Scripture, is an apostate. But you don't want to call that to their face. I don't understand. And there are two passages, I was thinking about this, that fit this situation ideally. This is out of Hebrews chapter 10. I revert back to this chapter a lot, I kind of noticed. So, somebody decides they are going to leave. They've lost their faith, but they do have knowledge of the truth. For if we go on sinning willfully after receiving knowledge of the truth, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sins, but a terrifying expectation of judgment and the fury of fire which will consume the adversaries. Anyone who has set aside the law of Moses dies without mercy on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. How much severer punishment do you think he will deserve who has trampled underfoot the Son of Elohim and has regarded as unclean the blood of the covenant by which he was sanctified and has insulted the Spirit of grace? For we know him who said, vengeance is mine, I will repay. And again, Yahweh will judge his people. It is a terrifying thing to fall into the hands of the living Elohim. Let's see here, where was I at? Oh, here I am. This is out of 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 21 and 22. For it would be better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than, having known it, to turn away from the holy commandments handed on to them. It has happened to them according to the true proverb, a dog returns to its own vomit, and a sow after washing returns to wallow in the mire. When we have people in our assemblies that this is happening to, or you start to see the signs of it happening, you need to take action. You need to take action. But like I said, this is just a trend that I'm starting to see flare up more and more and more. So with that, everybody, I hope you have a blessed day. Shalom.